You shoot lightning bolts with every high kick you make. And the radio plays your favorite song once again.
Welcome in. Thanks for stopping by again on such short notice. Today we have some new albums in the indie pop, power pop world, some psychedelic rock, as well as some post-punk. The Hall of Fame level douche heads among you will probably find this to be one of the most predictable douche-episodes in a long time. All but one of the artists featured in this video, we have previously featured in an earlier douche-episode. So once again, you're going to want to grab yourself a meat stick, but don't squeeze the meat stick too hard. And you might as well grab yourself a couple cold ones as long as you're here. Let's get started. First up, we have the third LP in 3 years for the Baltimore, Maryland band called The Smashing Times. And this album is called Mrs. Ladyship and the Cleanerhouse Boys. It's out on K Records and Perennial. This album continues the TV personalities influenced jangle. It goes also a bit maybe mod psychedelic. It's lo-fi, dissonant. It's a bit twee again. It's very British sounding, especially for a Maryland band. It also gets like UK acid folky and a little bit mystical as well. And you also get shades of, say, someone like Cleaners from Venus, and also just like C86 stylings in general. I think this is another solid effort. I find this one to probably be, not probably, I think it is significantly more difficult to get into versus the previous two LPs. At least it certainly was to me, I guess, less immediate, more abstract, a bit more whimsical, has some humor that I think maybe won't land for everyone as well. Fans of more like quirky, wry, exploratory indie pop should definitely give this one a shot. So again, the band is called The Smashing Times. And their third LP is titled Mrs. Ladyship and the Cleanerhouse Boys. Again, it's on K Records and Perennial.
And you said, tell me that you don't want my love no more. But love is not an door, but it's a matter of tact. But it's time with white string flowers that I told you that.
Next, we have a new release from Guruguru Brain. That's Kikagaku Moyo's record label. This is psychedelic rock from Thailand. They're called KHANA BIERBOOD. And the name of this album, which is their second album, is called Monolam. Longtime viewers will possibly recall that we talked about their debut LP about 5 years ago. I'll link to that video up here somewhere. Anyway, again, this is their second LP. Their first was kind of surfy, psychedelic garage rock record. This one has those elements as well, but it dabbles more in blending more styles into the mix. Has elements of like classic Thai funk, Luktung, Monolam, classic like classic soundtrack music, lots of fuzzy, groovy guitars. This one is again produced by Go Kurosawa of Kikagaku Moyo. You have fans of kind of modern, global, psychedelic rock, I think could do a lot worse. I find this to be better than some of the kind of similar albums from this year that kind of are doing a similar kind of thing, maybe just taking, different psychedelic music from different areas and blending them together. I do kind of wish this was had maybe one or two extra additional tracks. I think it's like 8 songs. Yeah, maybe one or two more bangers would have been appreciated, but it's still a good one to be sure. Again, the name of the band is KHANA BIERBOOD, which means strange brew, and the album, their second LP, is called Monolam on Guruguru Brain. All right, we got a lot of sophomore LP releases in this edition of IDP. This is the second LP from the Vermont-based post-punk band that are called Thus Love. The name of this album is All Pleasure. I was a pretty big fan of their debut LP, which was called Memorial, which is back from 2022, which we discussed on this channel. So the Thus Love had some personnel changes in the lead up to starting to work on this album. They lost one member, gained 2 additional members. This album, I would say, is maybe a bit more mature and kind of blends in additional styles, like dabbling in different genres. It still has their, signature kind of post-punk sound from that debut release. A lot of 80s vibes, also maybe like some glam rock flourishes. I even hear a smidge of something, maybe someone like Arctic Monkeys in places. It's kind of melodic, gritty, energetic. I feel like this album has been a bit of a grower for me. On the first listen, I wasn't really feeling it, but in subsequent listens, it is growing on me for sure. I definitely feel like I like the debut release better. At least it was a more immediate for me, but I still definitely think this is worth checking out. And I think that a lot of people would like this if they gave it a shot. So again, the band is called Thus Love, and their second LP is titled All Pleasure, and it's out now on Captured Tracks.
Even now, we'll never know how it feels to be truly alone. Gonna take the evil to drive you. Do you believe in love? In all the ways it shows. Yes, it kills, but it knows.
Next, we have another sophomore LP. This is the second LP from a band out of Hartlepool, UK. It's an indie pop group called Mount Misery, and this LP is called Love in Mind. This is really good, catchy, corny, jangly power pop. It's melancholy at times. At other times, it's a little bit sappy, a little lovey-dovey. But I'm totally on board for it. Think like late 1990s Teenage Fan Club. Think Big Star, Velvet Crush, bands like Real Estate, Go-Betweens. Something lives kind of in that arena. So fairly restrained power pop. It's lovely, lush vocal harmonies, a little distortion on the guitars. A lot of ear candy, very concise guitar pop songs. This one's highly recommended to any of the pop kids out there that might have missed it. Again, the artist is called Mount Misery, MT Misery, and the album is called Love in Mind, and it's out now on the great Prefect record label.
Been stuck inside an endless daylight dream, staring at the ceiling and waking up at the start again. I know I'm stuck on something I'm never going to find. Look to the past for any indicator that everything.
All right, next we have the second LP from the Parisian band called EggS, not to be confused with the many other bands called EggS. This EggS is capital E, lowercase g, capital S. I was a big fan of their debut LP, which we talked about here. I'll link to that somewhere. The lineup for this band apparently changes, is a fluid lineup. Again, on this one, we have Camille and Margot from Unattended Anna. We also have Erica from the band Special Friend. The band is led by a guy named Charles, and I'm going to probably say his last name, Deneau. I think that's how I'm going to say it, which I'm sure is wrong. But he sings in English with a French accent. There's definitely some Replacements influence heard on here. There's even a song called Bob Stinson's Song, the second track on the record. You also catch hints of artists like Bruce Springsteen, the Velvet Underground, Pavement. There's like a Hawaiian steel guitar, a lot of other 80s kind of rock vibes on here, power pop, Sarah Records, etc., without really sounding too much like any of those things, I think, if that makes any sense. The female vocals that are interplaying with Charles's lead vocals are really delightful to me. I think really are what take this album kind of over the top. Yeah, so EggS, this is their second album. Both of them are excellent. This one is quite short. It's 8 tracks, 24 minutes. The 12-inch vinyl LP is a 45 RPM, like spins at 45 RPM, but it is considered their second LP. I will just say at 24 minutes, I'm definitely left kind of wanting more. Like I wish it was a couple or 3 songs, maybe 4 songs longer. Anyway, again, EggS' second album is called Crafted Achievements.
You gotta look up at the scenery.